All right. So here are the things we need to do with these story problems. You might want to have these steps throughout everything. Notice, read the story problem multiple times. That means try to familiarize yourself with the situation that's going on. And then we need to figure out what do we not know, right? So that would be in the question typically, right? What we don't know is typically in the question. And at that same step, we want to define our variable, which is the thing that we don't know from the question, right? So the question was, how much money do I need if I'm passing out $5 to each of you, right? The question would be, how many students are there? And then we need to figure out what will our equation be equal to. If the word is present, that makes our life a lot easier, right? If the word is present, if the word is not present, then we have to figure out, all right, what two things do we need to equate? What two things do we need to say are equal to one another? If I'm talking about money, all right, do I have a money goal that I need to get to? If I'm working this many hours, do I have a goal that I need to get to? It's kind of like the video game question from last week. I need to get $36 to buy this video game. How many hours do I need to work to get that? Write the equation using your variable and decide your operation. That would be plus or minus. I'd like to add an S after that. Decide your operations. Right? Because sometimes there's going to be multiple. Sometimes it's going to be addition and subtraction. Solve it, and then when we check our equation and we check our answer, is it logical? So if I was passing $5 out to every single one of my classes, or every single one of my students, how much money do I need? And you gave me an answer of $4. Why would that be completely unreasonable? It's seriously even less than the $5. There's 30 of you. There's no way I'd pass out $4 to my entire class, right? So we have to double check to make sure our answer even makes sense. Kind of like on the quiz that I was grading, and 3.4 plus 11 gave me 4.5. What? Doesn't make sense, right? We have to make sure our answers make sense. So we're looking at the first equation. You mow lawns to make some extra money in the summer. You charge $30 to mow each lawn. You used $40 worth of gas mowing lawns and made a total of $500 this summer. How many lawns did you mow? So we see that there's three numbers floating around, right? 30, 40, and 500. Okay? Is this the question you guys have? Those the same numbers you have? Okay? Landon, you okay? You found where we are? Chris? Awesome. So there's three numbers that we need to move around, right? Some of them might be negative, some of them might be positive. But the thing is, what do we not know? Well, we don't know how many lawns we mowed. So, what's our variable going to be? Yeah, how many lawns we mowed? Let's call it L. I typically try to avoid L because it kind of looks like a 1 for my variable. So I'm going to call it N. All right? Number of lawns mowed. I don't even know if mowed is a word, but I'm using it. I don't know. Mown? Mowed? Moaned? I don't know.
Mowed is actually a word.
Yeah, there we go. We'll go with it.
Because I mowed the lawn.
But how many lawns did I mow? Is that how many lawns I mowed? I don't know. Very confusing stuff. Go ask your English teachers. Right now we're worried about M. I know what M is. It's a letter. It represents the number of lawns we mowed. Now the question is, what's it going to equal, right? That's going to be a little bit easier. I can set up my equation, and I know what this is going to equal, right? What's it going to equal? You guys see a key word that might help us know what it's going to equal? Brenna? Total. Yeah, total of 500. So we know it's going to equal 500, right? Because that's how much money we made in total. So now there's two other numbers that I need to work with. You charged $30 to mow each lawn, and you used $40 worth of gas mowing lawns. Well, I've talked about passing money out to each of you. What operation is that? It's actually not. It's actually multiplication, right? If I want to pass $5 out to each of you, if there is one of you, how much money will I have to spend? If there are 4 of you, how much money will I have to spend if I want to pass $5 out to each of you? 20. If there are 10 of you, how much money will I have to pass out? 50, because I'm passing out 40. Did you say 40?
Yeah.
5 times 10 is 50. Notice it's multiplication. So whenever you see to each, that's typically going to be multiplication. right? So we charge $30 to mow each lawn. So 30 M. Well, what are we going to do with that 40 bucks? Why?
Because you spend that money.
Yeah, we used. This is subtraction. We didn't make $40 worth of gas. That would be ridiculous. I used $40 worth of gas. So it's subtraction. And now we have an equation. 30M minus 40 equals 500. If you had negative 40, I'm going to show you guys another equation that would also be appropriate. Negative 40 plus 30M equals 500. That's also acceptable. Because if you recognize that you used $40 worth of gas, that means it's a subtraction be negative, right? And then for each lawn I mowed, I'm going to add 30 bucks to my total. That's another way to think about it, right? And I need to get 500. Now we can solve this one pretty easily because all the numbers end in zeros. That's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, plus 40, plus 40, and then 30M equals 540. Divide both sides by 30. In other words, 54 divided by 3. Right? Ashley? 18? Do we agree?
Yeah.
Yep, 18 lawns. Okay, cool. Remember, a real world problem has to have a real world answer. M equals 18 is not an answer to this question. 18 lawns is an answer to this question. And we have to ask ourselves, does this number make sense? Okay. Yeah, we had to mow kind of a lot of lawns. Just imagine if it's $30 to mow each lawn and you mowed 10 lawns, how much money would you make?
$300.
$300. If you mowed 20 lawns, how much money would you make? 600. But don't forget about that minus 40. But, you know, that makes kind of sense, right? We wouldn't need to make $500. 20 lawns would give me 600. So 18 is a reasonable answer. It's a little bit less than that, right? Cool?
Yep.
All right. Let's look at one more. To earn a college degree, you need to take a certain number of credits for courses taken. Okay? Tuition at a local college is $2,000 plus $150 per credit hour. How many credit hours did you take if you paid $3,500 this semester? Okay? The question is, what do we not know?
How many credits?
Yeah, we don't know the number of credit hours. So, C?
I was gonna do that.
Sure. Number of credit hours this semester. Number of credit hours this semester, right? So now let's start our equation. I think we can tell what this is going to equal. What do you guys think? What's our total amount going to be? Madison? You sure? Okay. Question clear? 10 is not what our equation is going to equal. The number 10 is not present in our equation, or is not present in this question. Yeah, 3,500 or 3,500. Right, 3,500 is what this is going to be in total because it says you paid $3,500 this semester. Now, some of you guys might be able to solve this one without writing an equation, but that's not what this question is about, is it? This question is about writing an equation. Cool. Yeah, so we've got two other numbers that we have to play with, right? What are those two numbers? $2,000 and $150. So what do we got? Well, it says right away tuition is $2,000. Is that going to change?
No.
$150 per credit hour. Is that going to change?
Yes.
Yes, that will change based on the number of credit hours this semester, which means that the 150 is the number that's attached to the variable, right? And those words per credit hour, that helps me know that if I take 1 credit hour, it's going to be $150. If I take 2 credit hours, how much is it going to be? 300. If I take 3 credit hours, it's going to be $450. If I take 10 credit hours, it's going to be $1,500. Notice the changing, right? It changes. So right away, I know up front, I'm going to have to pay $2,000. So I'm writing that in, $2,000, no matter what. Boom. Right away, I got to pay $2,000. I know, right? Maybe plus, right? Plus, what's that word? That's an addition problem, right? Plus 150 per credit hour. So 150 per C, right? 150
Okay.
for 150 for every C. For every credit hour. $150 for every C. It's another way to think about that. And now we can solve this problem. It looks a little different than what we've done before, but that's okay. Right? We subtract 2,000. We're left at the 150C equals 1500, and this is where Harshukman was giving us our answer earlier. We divide both sides by 150. And C equals 10 credit hours. Anybody have any siblings in college?
Well, mine's close to being called.
You can ask them about credit hours when you get home. Ask them about credit hours. Okay? So that's the process. Everybody okay? So what we're going to be doing next is we're going to be working in our groups on the group side of this worksheet. And then your homework is the individual side